Hey yo, what's up everybody? It is the 7th of August. It's Friday, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's an absolutely stunning day. One of those sort of days that you just can't help being happy to be alive, really. It really does make it all worth it. I mean, when you live in England, UK, you don't really get much sun, not like California where it's sunny like all the time. I mean, we literally get 2 weeks of summer in July. I mean, pretty much, maybe a little bit of August, a little bit of June, but that is pretty much it for us. And then it's all snow. So yeah, you have to try and make the most out of it. But the reason why I'm making this video today is actually an unrelated topic to the weather and where I live, all irrelevant to the actual story. I just wanted to basically tell my story a little bit, I guess, for myself as well. I mean, it's hard making sense of things at times, and I guess sometimes it can be better and beneficial for yourself just to sort of speak through it and organise it in your own head, I guess. But I mean, so going back about a year ago now, I fell out with family. I lived with my mother at the time. Fell out with family due to one reason or another. It pretty much was all my fault, to be fair. I mean, I was pretty much a terrible person to be around. I could definitely say that, yeah. Or a terrible person to be around. Horrible to live with. Ended up homeless, sort of like going from hostel to hostel, which is like, I guess like a hotel for homeless people, sort of thing, through the council that they sort out. And sort of in this setting was where I first experienced heroin. And oh god, if only I could go back, I would do things so much differently. But nonetheless, at least I've done it, and now I've got the experience, and I can hopefully pass on sort of what I've learned to other people that are maybe interested in trying it, or curious or whatever. I mean, I know a lot of people are, because I've seen them sort of conversations on comments and stuff, and it reminds me of exactly how I was. I mean, when you're feeling a little bit depressed, or anxious, or you're feeling a certain sort of way, you will go to sort of, I guess, extreme lengths to try and make yourself feel better. And I guess your brain has a misconstrued way of telling you that you're getting better, when in reality you're really not. And I mean, so the first time I ever actually smoked, it was by accident. A guy basically passed me what I thought was a spliff with like marijuana in it, and after sort of having a few drags, I then sort of realised, after it being a bit of a funny taste, realised that this guy had actually put heroin in this joint. And obviously my immediate reaction was anger, confusion, a little shocked that obviously this guy didn't say anything at all. Probably something that you should say. I mean, should mention if the guy's never done it before and stuff. But yeah, I mean, so I tried it. I remember at the time I was in like a really disgusting place. I was basically in a tiny box room that had a bed and a fridge in there. That was literally it. I mean, I didn't even have a quilt on the bed. And it was obviously dreadful. And one of the things that really sort of strikes me about that whole moment is sort of how great I felt afterwards. Not great, but I mean, not depressed, not anxious. I felt different. I felt, I guess, somewhat normal in a sense, which, after sort of 6 months, a year of turmoil where you're not feeling great, it's a really liberating sort of feeling, and is of course addictive and something that you desire. And I mean, at first I've spoke to a lot of people that all say exactly the same thing. You all say, oh no, I'll only have a bit, it'll never get me, I've got willpower, I've got this. And trust me, everybody says that. It's something else. It's like nothing else that you could have experienced on a a sort of a normal day-to-day level. And I guess my biggest mistake was, I guess first and foremost doing it, but telling myself that I could handle it, telling myself that I was going to be all right and that I could control myself when, obviously the proof is there that people generally cannot control themselves on that stuff. So, for the first, I guess, 6 months, it was more on-off, because it's so terribly cut nowadays. It can actually take like 2-3 months of sort of like regular smoking to actually get addicted to the point where you're obviously suffering from like withdrawal symptoms and stuff like that. So for a while it didn't have any, I guess, negative effects in air quotes. Nothing tangible. I was still living my life quite normally. If anything, at that time, I really convinced myself that it was helping me and that after it I was feeling better. And to a certain extent, I guess I was, but it's the equivalent to just dipping your head in the sand. The world still carries on around you, it's just you're not seeing it really. Your problems are still there, you're just not seeing them. And they literally just get worse and worse and worse because all cares pretty much go out of the window. I can remember there were a day and I woke up in the morning and I had no money, obviously, and I didn't plan on taking drugs that day. And after about 3 hours of being awake, I started feeling awful. The withdrawal symptoms of heroin is like the worst flu you've ever had times like 10, plus the added effect of the psychological pain that you go through, because it's a really powerful thing to know that all you need to do is go out, score another bag, and you're going to be absolutely fine again for another 16 hours or whatever. And every time you give into it, apparently it gets harder and harder to actually stop, which is something that I can definitely say I agree with. One of my most favourite things in the world was actually being poorly and then taking heroin to feel better again, because you go from feeling terrible to absolutely, I guess, fine in seconds. And it's an addictive feeling. It's an addictive thought process. It traps you because your time is just so consumed with heroin, getting heroin, smoking heroin. As soon as you've finished your bag, that's it. You need to worry about your next one because you're going to be poorly again in another 8 to 10 hours or whatever. And it is just absolutely relentless. It does not give you any time to think about what you want to do, what your kids, your mum, dad, brother, that shit don't care about nothing. Don't care about nothing. Don't care about you, don't care about nothing. And all these realizations that I've had in my life, I've learnt them the hard way, man. And like really the hard way. I was on heroin in total for probably maybe about a year and a bit. I'm totally clean now, been clean for about 8 months. And I could never forgive myself for what I did. I would have never, ever, ever guessed that something like that could have taken me so out of reality. I was so disconnected, it is absolutely unbelievable. I was living in pigsties, I was sleeping in alleyways, I wasn't eating for 3 days on end regularly. It's absolutely terrible. It's a dreadful drug, it really is. I'm just sort of making this to just to sort of, I guess, tell my story a little bit for myself, for anybody else. If I could even just change like one person's mind, or even get one person to just think twice about it, then I'd be pretty happy. Because at the time, I really didn't have sort of anybody there that were telling me, look, this is pretty fucking stupid, what are you doing? Look at what you're doing. I was so consumed with how I was feeling and getting the actual fix. Honestly, my thought train didn't even go as far as planning that. And I don't think a lot of users do. I think you're absolutely incapable of being able to plan ahead, or even even, yeah, just planning in general, you can't plan anything. I mean, unless you're like really rich, and obviously you can keep up to your habit, but I mean, you'd probably be dead before your money runs out anyway. But yeah, I mean, I seen some dudes sort of talking about it on a comment the other day, and it really hit me, man. You know, people like saying about how amazing it is and how you feel like this and how you feel like that. Yeah, honestly, do you know how you feel when you take heroin? You feel like shit. You feel awful. You do. You feel horrible. I mean, you tell yourself you don't, and I guess once you've started taking it for a bit, because of how toxic it is, your body's like trying to catch back up, and then you take it again and it makes you feel better. So you're under this illusion that it's making you feel better, and it's obviously what's causing the problem in the first place, which is kind of ironic, I guess, in a sense. It's incredibly cruel. It's something that I guess doesn't really make sense to normal thoughts, but it don't make you feel good. It ruins everything. I mean, I were a person that had a lot going for me at one point, and within a year, heroin stripped it all away from me. Well, I say stripped it all away from me. I give it all to it. I give it all away, and I wasn't even bothered at the time. Didn't even care that I was giving my life away. My life were about to end. That I were practically staring death in the face daily. Absolutely ridiculous. But there's a little bit of a recount. I mean, I'm just walking my dog, so thought I'd just fire something out, see if anybody out there's listening. But yeah, peace out, YouTube. Hope you all have a great day, great week, great life. Hit me up. Anybody would like to hear some more of my mad ramblings, I would absolutely love to make more, but I don't think anybody's going to care. But yeah, thank you very much for your time, guys. Hope you all have a great day. Peace.